Welcome to Blood Bowl 2 Legendary Edition. I'm continuing my review of my Amazons campaign in last season's Open Ladder. The Amazons have played 11 matches so far. We have 9 victories, 1 draw and 1 defeat. In my previous match, we played out a scoreless draw against a Dark Elf team. The match started horrendously and ended wretchedly. So it felt like it was a victory squandered rather than a draw earned. This time around I'm playing against the Wood Elves. They are fast and agile but relatively fragile. So my game plan going into this was try to get a numeric advantage by smashing his players. A task which is not going to prove easy because the Wood Elves have agility 4 and they are quite fast. Certainly faster than my Amazons, who only have average movement. The Wood Elves choose to receive, so they might be hoping to score quickly to put pressure on the Amazons. My job is to prevent that from happening. As you can take a look at both teams here. Got a lot of players leveled up. He has leveled up both his War Dancers. This one has Mighty Blow and this one has Frenzy, which is a little unusual for a first level up. The Wood Elves have 2 rerolls, kind of unusual, so it will be interesting to see whether the other coach is very restrained in his use of his team rerolls. They also have a Bloodwiser bait. Obviously he's anticipating a lot of KOs. I have nothing unusual for my team. It's perfect Blood Bowl weather, so there's not going to be an issue. The Wood Elf coach sets himself up for his opening blocks. So these 2 players, these 2 War Dancers, the one with Mighty Blow and this one with Frenzy, will be players to watch out for. Also this lineman with Strength 4. They get a extra team reroll, unfortunately, since they are going to be making a lot of risky dodges and risky passing plays. That is going to help them. The opening block from the Mighty Blow War Dancer fails to break armor, but he does manage to knock down my line woman. First armor break of the game, but it's only a stunned. Followed by a push. Now let's see what he does with the Frenzy War Dancer. Manages to knock down the line woman. I obviously can't reach the ball over here. However, I do have a couple of tempting targets for my blitz here, especially these 2 War Dancers, which the other coach has left open. Here's my opening blitz, but it's only a push. I was hoping to break armor with my Mighty Blow Blitzer. That did not happen. Not much I can do here. It's going to be very hard to prevent the Wood Elves from moving about. They have movement 7 and movement 8. And agility 4. In addition to that, the War Dancers also have leap. It's going to be very hard to pin them down. A 1 dice block from the War Dancer with Frenzy, which leads into a red die block. So I think from this move alone, it's possible to say that maybe this coach was a little inexperienced. Not sure that a 1 dice block was really necessary. However, he does manage to stun a line woman with his Mighty Blow War Dancer. Picks up the ball, keeps the ball carrier deep, and once again I can't reach him. So I think my goal for this turn has got to be just perform a few blocks, try to get a few pitch removals if possible. So the Wood Elf coach has already used one of his team rerolls, leaving him back to his default 2. Okay, the first pitch removal. 11 to 10. This was only a catcher with 0 SPP, so not a vital player for him. But the Wood Elves are used to operating with only few players on the pitch, deep into the drive. Unlike the Amazon team, the other team does not have universal dodge. It is something they have to pick up for most of their players. One dice block. Managed to push away the lineman with dodge. So the most interesting thing that happened in the previous turn was the pitch removal. Block versus block, no effect. Finally manages to knock down my blitzer with tackle. And stuns her. Here comes the blitz from the Mighty Blow War Dancer. Targeting my blitzer with guard and sidestep. Fails to knock her down. But once again he's left his War Dancers conveniently next to my players. Pretty much itching to take them out as quickly as possible. Moves on the ball carrier. Makes a passing play. He's almost out of time but makes a very risky play here. And he puts his ball carrier deep. Makes one GFI. Putting him right next to the end zone. Not sure it was strictly speaking necessary to rush to a 1-0 lead, particularly since he would give me plenty of time to score the equalizer. Well, let's take a look at the situation. Do I have a shot here? I have a 1 dice block against this catcher. Unfortunately, my catcher does not have tackle. My only player with tackle is lying on the ground seeing stars. So what do I do at this point? Should I make every possible effort to prevent the touchdown? I think I would make a 1 dice block. But I'm pretty okay with the Wood Elves scoring early. As long as it gives me plenty of time to score the equalizer before halftime. So let's see what I do here. Pick up my knockdown players. First block is over here, which is non-essential. No armor breaks. Managed to knock down the War Dancer. Can we break his armor? Yes, we can, but it's only a stunned. Managed to position one player here, and now here comes a 2 dice block. Again, it's not very likely to succeed because this player has catch. Has dodge. The GFI fails. Reroll helps it succeed. I managed to knock down the player, which is good. You take a look at the situation. Simple 83% chance to dodge, followed by another 83% chance to pick up the ball, would give the Wood Elf coach the lead. Not much I can do to prevent it. He could use his last reroll. So this one, positioning my Mighty Blow player here is just in case we manage to prevent the touchdown. It doesn't look very likely. So again, this position is not great. Maybe I should have made another GFI here. And that was a foul. I generally don't foul all that much, but in this case, The Wood Elf coach has put his War Dancer in a precarious position. He uses the Apothecary very early in the match. So you can sort of understand why, because this War Dancer is going to be an important player for him. But nonetheless, it's just given me an incentive to go all out to pummel his players. He's used his last reroll, and this is only his 4th turn. All of this is positioning for failure, just in case he fails to dodge out and pick up the ball. But fortunately he manages it. So the Wood Elves take a 1-0 lead. So their War Dancer, who was injured then revived by the Apothecary, has a chance to return to the game. But still, for my part, I was kind of encouraged because I felt I had a very good opportunity here. His KO'd player remains KO'd, which means he is down to 10. 10 players, no rerolls, 4 turns to defend. Obviously, I'm going to make the most of my blocks now. Put my line woman with tackle, so I had 2 players with tackle in this squad. It's going to be hard to stop the Wood Elves if there's a blitz. Unfortunately, they get an extra team reroll. Ball is here. So it should be no problem picking it up and moving it into cover. But I think now my focus is attempting to batter the Wood Elves. There is another KO. So 11-9 in my favor. Another knockdown. Okay, it's only a stun this time. But that is the strength 4 lineman. So that was a very good result. Another Wood Elf goes down. But here I'm really hoping for an injury. So maybe this was not a great choice for the blitz. I should have blitzed with the blitzer with Mighty Blow to maximize my chances of pitch removal. But because the blitzer with Mighty Blow was over here, I was loath to move her up, because then I would have very little opportunity to protect her. As I noted earlier, your own Mighty Blow players are going to be a priority target for the opposition. And that was the failed pickup attempt. With a reroll, I think that goes up to 89%, but she somehow manages to drop it. So that is a turnover. So I think the Wood Elf coach would have been very heartened by this. If you take a look at this here, there's only one player over here. If he moves these 2 players, blitzes this player, he can move up and apply some pressure on the ball. Could then move these players to mark these 2 players. So he had an opportunity here. Maybe not a great opportunity, but certainly a chance to extend his lead. Blitzes the Mighty Blow blitzer, knocks her down. Moves forward 1 square. Makes a GFI. Another GFI. Plants himself right next to the ball. So things are looking kind of hairy for the Amazons right now. If I was feeling a little confident before, was starting to creep in. Could I prevent the Wood Elves from racing to a 2-0 victory or 2-0 lead before half-time? Fails the dodge. Fails it once again. And he's used up his last reroll. So this was an absolutely vital opening for me. But still, I had a slight problem here. The ball was over here. There are 2 Wood Elves over here. I could blitz one of them away. But that leaves the question of the other. One of these players would be next to the ball. One thing I could have done was perhaps put some players here. Put one player here. Put this player here. Blitz with this player. Push this player into this player and push this player away. Not sure if that was what I was going to do. Let's see. Move the guard there to make it easier for me to get 2 dice blocks. Nope. Go for the straightforward block here. It's a push. So I don't think the best move here because I still have one player to contend with. He's not going anywhere and I have to pick up the ball now. Make a risky pickup, fail at the first attempt. It's only a 50% chance. Succeed with a reroll and dodge away. So the ball is relatively safe. Start marking up. So this is kind of interesting. I have the opportunity to foul the War Dancer now. But this side of the it's only this cage isn't fully formed at the moment, so I think the priority has got to be to try to protect the ball if possible. I need only 2 players for that. If I move this player here, move this player here, move this player here, I could attempt to foul with the thrower. Nope, move the thrower up. She has block and dodge, making it hard to knock her down. Move the line woman here to mark this corner of the cage. And move this player here, so no foul this time around. Let's see how the Wood Elf coach responds here. Here comes the blitz. Knocks down the thrower. Plants himself right next to the ball carrier. Dodges away the War Dancer. Pushes away a blitzer and decides to mark her. Makes another risky 1 dice block. I don't understand this, but maybe this is some advanced technique no one's ever thought of before. Because if you have 0 rerolls, you might be thinking in terms of making safe moves. Managed to knock down the lineman marking the ball carrier. Here comes the blitz, courtesy of a linewoman with wrestle and tackle. Unfortunately, it does not succeed in knocking down this catcher. But I've opened up a path for my ball carrier, and now my other players stream forward this gap to mark, or rather protect her. So the ball is not exactly safe, is it? This thrower has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This thrower has a 1 dice block. Granted, the thrower does not have block, and my catcher has both block and dodge. And then she also has sidestep, making it very hard for the Wood Elves to knock her down. So I'm ignoring the other players. Maybe not the best move. Maybe I should have prioritized taking out his players. 2 dice block against this War Dancer would have been very tempting. Granted, the War Dancer has block and dodge, making it very hard for me to knock him down, but still. He's already down to 9 players. Looks like he's targeting my Mighty Blow Blitzer. Again, he goes for a 1 dice block. He has so many players free here. Fails and knocks himself out. He's down to 8 players now. So the more dice rolls you make when you have 0 team rerolls, the more likely you are going to fail. And since each failure is going to be an immediate turnover, it's probably smarter to move your players who do not need any dice rolls to move before making any risky moves. Move the ball carrier up. Prepping myself up for some 2 dice blocks. But if you take a look at the movement for the Wood Elves, they're still capable of reaching the ball carrier. And I'm out of rerolls as well. So all these moves are relatively safe. They do not need any dice rolls. This one does. Fortunately, it succeeds. And there is another injury. And the coach immediately concedes. So that was the 12th match. And that was the 10th victory for the Amazons. We have 10 victories, 1 draw and 1 defeat. Take a look at the armor breaks. We have 7 armor breaks. They only inflicted 3. In terms of statistics, they actually managed to make more blocks, 24 to 16, but our blocks were more successful at removing their players from the pitch. SPP, this line woman gets 5 for the MVP award, and so does this thrower. And this line woman gets 2 for inflicting an injury. Don't think there's anything interesting about the dice rolls. This is kind of interesting. 8 defender downs as opposed to 2 attacker downs. In terms of block dice, 3 6s as opposed to 7 1s. Only manage 1 in 3. Sorry, 1 in 4 attempts at picking up the ball. So anyway, that was the 12th match for the Amazons. I will see you next time.